Sheriff's Department for many years now, and again and again and again, there is no substantive concern offered. And I get back to, what is the reason for Commissioner Slifka's concern that my office should not benefit from the work that it generates? I think the voters should be asking that question too.
I will state for the record that there is an interlocal agreement with the Public Safety Department, and that money does go directly into that budget. We also have an interlocal agreement with DES for disaster services going back many, many years, 1985. So this is not new.
No, money's there when we get our detailed
So we will.
budget expenditures and stuff like that. That's when we'll make the final decision. Anyway.
We will move on. 11:45, we might have a couple of minutes for COS. Let's see. Thank you very much, Mary. Do you want this now, this contract for tonight's meeting?
You have several copies? You want to keep one? Well,
You know-
we want 3 signed copies.
Yeah.
I was running a little late, so you bring mine.
Can we go ahead and bring this back to you? We'll make 3 copies and then bring you 3?
That would be great.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Or how come you wouldn't address my?
We're going to have public comment here in just a minute. Just making sure that we're not missing anything. Okay. We may have a COS. If we do, we will go ahead and enter. We do have a COS.
Yes, we
Come
do.
on up. Thank you for holding that up. I would have missed you entirely. Mr. Bray, would you like to come up to the table as well? This is concerning your neighbors.
Yes.
It's just that Lancaster Olson.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all they're doing is, there's an existing 20-foot easement along the south line here, and they want to make it a 10-foot easement so Gerald can build a garage.
Right, yeah. I understand that. All that before.
You
Yes.
have any questions?
No.
Ultimate,
Yes.
intimately familiar with it.
I guess all we need is probably a motion to accept this COS.
Yep, and signatures, but you guys can.
Yes, and we motion to support. I kept that resolution.
Is there a
here.
number on that or a name? What are you using on it?
Amended plat of the Sunrise Estates Phase 3 subdivision.
Thank you.
Examiner legislator.
Thank you. All right. All right, and we have already voted to approve this on behalf of your neighbor. Did you make the motion? Did I miss it? I apologize. I will second the motion. It's been moved and seconded to support the amended plat for Sunrise Estates, Phase 3 subdivision. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Is this law now from Gerald build this garage?
Gerald is good to go. You bet. Yes.
Thank you. He's been jumping a bit. He's good.
I bet.
Just have to be signed and
Yeah.
recorded first.
Okay, how long will it take to record?
And it gets to the office, not there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
And I'm sure Gerald and Bonnie, thank you very much.
You bet. It's a good project.
What's that?
firm are you with, or you're individual?
Yeah, I'm just SCW, so
Thank you.
I'm married to Jeannie Plummer.
Or you?
Terry's, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. My name's here. Yeah. Windows.
Gerald.
W5, yeah. D. Yep.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. We've been looking forward to this one.
I'll get this signed and off to the phone.
All right, sounds
you.
great. Thank you very much. All right, we are officially in public comment. Do we have any public comment? Mr. Wright.
John Wright speaking. I have some comments on the city county attorney. I am a constitutionalist from the full letter of the law and understand it. And what you've just done is an open and blatant attack on this county as a constitutional county and its right to be separate from city and county. You just broke the primary law of formulating and implementing, even though it's different than John Flynn, when she said numerous things that was incorrect. In fact, on the border of a lie. John Flynn was a part-time attorney. He was a full-time practicing attorney himself. Okay, everybody knew that. He worked outside for not only for the city, for Marr County, he had offices in different places. It's no comparison. You have allowed this to slide through and go through, and now what you have really done, and which is a criminal offense constitutionally, you have implemented and instructed metro government. And it's illegal. Mr. Slifka was correct by resisting. He should have just stood his ground and said no. Now, what can you do about this? Carla is a full-time attorney. For her to take time to take care of the city, off time, listen, your brain can only work so many hours a day, and you've implemented nothing more for her to set up her private practice at the payers of the taxpayers from the city as well as the county incompetently. And you, I'm going to hold you personally responsible.
Thank you, John. Any other public comment? Brenda?
Last week, I met with the city in regards to a patrol vehicle. I should say every 5 years now. They'll purchase a patrol vehicle for the sheriff's office and patrolling. Their request was the one that we normally turn in, rather than turn it in as a trade-in, it go to the city. But because all of the vehicles are titled to the county, I told them I'd have to talk to the commission first. Will there be any issue with that?
As far as the auto licensing, I don't know myself. Perhaps Franklin does, but we could certainly check with Doug.
Well, what we did in the past is that old Ford
Explorer.
Explorer. With the commission's approval, then the commission signed it over to the city, because they're, in essence, purchasing their vehicle, and rather than do it as a trade-in at less, then it goes back to them, and then they just purchase the vehicle. And that's what they're asking this year. Rather than us just trading the vehicle, probably lower than what it's worth, does the commission have an issue with it going to the city rather than as a trade-in?
My opinion on that is, Brenda, it's your budget, it's your vehicle. I support you as long as it fits within your budget. Any further
I
comment
have
to
no
that?
issue with that, however it works out for you and the city.
And just a heads up, two of the 08s are up there in miles, so I will be coming to you guys also for one of those. Just kind of a heads up.
What is that again?
Two of the 2008s patrol vehicles are up there in miles,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, okay.
they're starting to do like the ones last year, nickel dime was the difference.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, thank you. Any other public comment? Tim?
Madam Chair, Tim Ravendall. Last week, I raised a couple of questions regarding the appointment of Mr. Sean Higley as the applicant's agent for the county, working with the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. There's been more questions that have been asked or raised since last week on this matter. And so what I would like to respectfully request, Madam Chair, is if you could find room on your agenda next week. I would like to come in and have a presentation regarding this relationship and maybe have a proposal for making things right. And I think that's a proper way to do it, if you would indulge, Madam Chair.
All right, we will make sure that Mr. Higley can be here as well. We'll
Yes.
double check.
That's why I didn't want to go into it, because he's not here, and it's not fair for him, for me to be talking about him when he's not here.
Absolutely. All right, we will tentatively schedule that for 2:30 and get back with you and let you know as long as he's available as well. All right. Anything else?
Yes, I do have one last thing, and this is an ongoing pet peeve of mine, if you will, Madam Chair.
All right.
When you were having the discussion just now regarding the adoption of the MOU between the county attorney and the city, public comment from this side of the table was ruled out, but there was an exception made to that when Ann was allowed to weigh in on that issue before the final decision was made. And under the Constitution, the right to participate before decisions are made are important. I had some offers of some discussion on that before the prior decision was made that may have helped smooth things up and move forward on that. But once the decision is made, Madam Chair, it's a moot point. So if you would be recognizing of the fact that that part of participation while the process, not after, is paramount to transparency as well as accountability. And thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment?
Bill Kearns, I just want to say how much nicer I think this room is. Are you going to continue to meet here?
Yes.
It's bigger, it's lighter. I really like
The chairs are less comfortable,
it. Yeah, I guess so.
but then these guys, I guess we could take theirs.
Yeah.
John?
John Wright, once again, listening to what you're saying, and the taxpayer in this county at 575 Indian Creek Road, once again, you have committed us to a situation, getting the cart before the horse, for really we even know what it's going to do to us or what it's going to cost us. Once again, is there any pleasure in this kind of action?
Okay, thank you very much for your comment. Any other public comment?
I got one last question, Madam Chair.
Tim?
What do you have for advertisement for the agenda that will go out today or for next week? Or
We haven't done anything for next week yet. That'll go out probably today around 4. Gives
Okay.
us the optimum amount of time to
So
hear
I'm
from
asking
people
what
who
you
will be on the
have
next agenda.
proposed that you're going to put in the agenda so people understand the subject.
Oh, you want to know what's tentatively on the agenda for next week?
Well, yeah, I just requested to be on the agenda for next week, and how are you going to word that in your agenda notice?
Oh, Tim Ravendall, applicant's agent discussion. Would you like it to say more?
I would, and if I can get a couple of minutes to think about that.
Sure.
And then submit that to you, Madam Chair, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, you can either submit it to me, either during the meeting if you think of it before we adjourn, or take it down to Tammy.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
you bet. Any other public comment? Public comment. Last chance for John.
I have a question that I've talked to the sheriff, that Carla herself and her supposedly authority has removed all of the paperwork from the United States Court of Appeals, case 9270-15, writ of error, original writ of error, and then 9370-21, original writ of mandamus, a bonded case. And that means anybody interact, or overreact against this case, it's a criminal act. It's a bonded case. It was all on the wall. She herself, unless you participated in it, and that's another question. In fact, I'll ask that now. Did you participate in removing these documents from your bulletin board?
No.
Okay, thank you. Carla admitted to me and through the sheriff's department that she did this herself. Open and blatant with malice and forethought. And I demand, as commissioner with the power and authority, that you act with our sheriff to prosecute her under the Constitution of the United States of America, not state statutory law. Will you do that?
Thank you very much for your comment, John. Last call for public comment. All right, we are adjourned. Have a nice day, everyone, and thank you very much for coming.
Do we have an afternoon session?
No, we're done. We are done for the day. We will have a meeting Thursday at 10 a.m., final for the budget mills.
Are you good with material? I just did. And what did you Yeah. And I told my students last week, right?
Yeah.
Chill his soul.
I'll meet you there just as soon as I think I can.
Do you think we need
But in case she finds someone else, they want to know
What they were doing? No. Laura and
You're talking about the Colby School grant? Yeah.
No, I said to him how to work for his schedule. He was there.
Oh, okay, so he has to go.
Some guy that, you know, she don't work for something, I don't know. I'll have to ask.
City has a late, they hire all.
I'll ask questions.
And I don't know how to ask someone. But some.
You know, sometimes I used to go and visit.
Once. Maybe twice.
Yeah, it's just in my fleet.
I go to tell
He's the one that does most of it is the city.
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
My monthly depression tomorrow. I go to Walmart.
That's such a little bit, there's
Our
a
monthly
late,
depression, that's what we call it.
there's no problem with people. I mean, no, it's- like I said, yeah, it is private, well, let's wait until they get it done.
But he's
Sit there for his budget, you got this 170
he's
mil
doing it
here,
for
is
the
that
road.
where we've been the last few years? Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Rotary Club that's doing it. We got the gravel there.
So
We
she-
have to use it. We're the ones that put up the bales and the Christmas tree on it.
Oh, because I heard they need 70.
He's not doing something for a
Yeah,
private
Or
party.
it's late.
48 members of the road.
Oh,
And the whole community.
And for the community.
portioned out amongst the various.
Okay, I just.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure.
And
Thank
then, of
you.
course, the
Do
road
that, and we'll let David know too.
Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Andrea.
Hello.
We just finished,
That's what I wondered.
but we did
When
sign
you said
the letter.
about noon. Okay.
Yes, do you want it right now?
Yes, please.
We should probably get a copy made.
Sure.
Sure. You want me to just bring it in at the school?
Did you guys talk at all about the library budget?
No, we haven't got there yet. What we're doing is, we're setting the mills first, and then after that's done, and we have to the fifth, after that's done, then we will start going into the individual departments with the floating mills, which the library is part of. So it'll probably be 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
See, it's just as concerned because we have employees.
Guilty as charged.
Wait, and you still have money in your
We do.
CIP that
We
you
do.
use for that? Yeah. Yeah, it's just,
Put it back.
we weren't doing things in the past that we should have. And so this year, we're kind of going backwards and getting those things done first, and then going into more of the detail within.
And really, the last 2 years, we didn't get
I've gone to all the other officers involved,
on the library budget.
where there was.
Went away.
Of course,
Okay, so that's why I'm trying to,
everybody said
To
they
follow
knew
up
nothing about
for
it.
our library board, which is an
I
independent
can't
board,
handle all
it's
of
not the school board, there's a library board.
Well, it's not,
There's
you've
two
already
people
handled
from the
them.
school board.
You served them.
You're not listed there on it.
What do you guys meet as your library board? Do you know off the top of your head?
I
I
had
don't,
meetings.
it's like every other month.
And I won't
it's
go in,
met
I
with
wouldn't
each
go in
other.
there unless you put me in body
I'm
armor.
not gonna argue.
I can find out from
She has
Angie,
attacked me
because
4
Angie's
times. Slammed the door in my face.
Okay.
Then
Call
so,
it out.
then you need.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
come
at.
in and explain.
And
to them
Teresa
what's going on.
Rosick is the, board
Will
chair.
you contact her and
Okay.
ask her to put them
Yeah.
out?
I will ask.
Can I email you and get her phone number? and
Yes.
Follow up with
You
her?
can, I might even have it with.
Oh, that'd be great.
Another quick question, what was the other day, when we need the Thursday before our meeting? We'll get something
Let me
together.
finish with Andrea real quick, and then
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer that or fill in.
It might be just her email.
And email is fine, I can still communicate with her.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
That's not like my maiden name. Had three C's in it.
Yeah, and everybody goes, what?
Okay. You know, I know you're disappointed that I went along with it.
No,
I
I
didn't
will
wanna
get a
follow
hold of
the
her,
system.
and I will bring you.
And
that
like
other,
Mary
your
Wallace.
wedding
understand.
hour.
Perfect.
Get a copy? Perfect, all right.
Yeah, we got 3 other ones today, so we're trying to get on mail tomorrow.
Absolutely, it's a good project.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea. Yes, Tim?
Okay. The, in your right there, 107. Do we have, and I understand the inflationary things, we need to adjust some of the values, et cetera. I'm full of front page on it. What I'm asking now is, do we have a spreadsheet, if you will, that breaks down the total 107, how they're divided up between
No,
the different,
we haven't got
at
there yet.
that point? It's
Yeah.
just, that's gonna be pending.
That's the
And
next
every-
step, but you have to know what you're working with first.
But
It's like
see,
a book. You
let me-
read
let
the
me
title
finish.
first,
Let me finish,
and then,
please.
and then you
Please, let
go
me
in
finish.
and you look at what the
You're
chapters
not
are.
letting me finish.
Yes, I am.
What I'm trying to ask you now, Kara, Laura, whatever title you'd like to go by, is, I'm asking, is if the budget process, as it moves forward into an actual preliminary budget adoption by all of the departments, the no values have their maximum allowable, and each department cannot really move forward in developing a preliminary budget for that department without knowing how many mills are on that particular department. That's not correct?
That is not correct at all.
Okay, that's where I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. And I'll stand corrected and I'll keep trying to understand it better. So where am I wrong? If you
The
don't need to
departments-
have the total number of mills for a particular department, how can you set revenue levels
That's why they're called
to match
floating.
the expenditures, if you don't know how much your revenue is?
Okay. Each department actually submits their budgets, expenditure and revenue, in May and June. That's been done, long time ago. The mills, the floating mills at 107.88, those are disseminated between